you asked me to make a video on what we did in class, so here it is. I'm only going to do maybe about 2 of these questions so that you could go ahead and finish the rest. I have posted the answers online, but this is just the procedure on how to do it. So I'm going to first look at number 4. I think that's one of the hardest ones. The first things you ever do when you get one of these questions is extend the lines. The reason why you extend the lines is so that you're able to see the transversal and your house and so forth. So just go ahead and extend the lines in every direction. First thing I'm going to do is make my house. Remember, my house is made by your set of parallel lines. Alright, just to remind you, the arrows means that the lines are parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and make my house real quick. Then it'll make it easier for me to see what's intersecting my house. So here is my house. So it's pretty easy to see my house. Here's a line intersecting my house. There are other lines intersecting my house, but I'm going to just start with one for right now and ignore everything else. So look, I'm going to put a ruler right here just to kind of block everything else that's interrupting it. Take my colors as usual. Start with this angle right here. Alright, go ahead and color that. I'm going to color what's vertical to that, so I'm just going to fold it over. So that's going to be this right here. Go ahead and color that as well, the same color because they're vertical. Alright, very important. I taught you in class to look for this Z. This Z is so big. Here we go, Z. You see that Z? And the corners are the same. Okay, so the corners of your Z are the same, or congruent. So color in my Z. Vertical to that is going to be this. Color that in. Awesome. Take a different color and color what you have left. Alright. So I'm just going to color it blue, go vertical. And check this out. You could even do the Z the other way. It just looks a little funny, but you can still see that Z. Color that in. Vertical to that is this one. Color that in. Alright, so now I have my colors. Now remember, you always want to set up equation with like terms. So I need either Y's or X's together. Well, where I see writing right now is I see different colors. So these are going to add up to 180. To set it up, I add them to 180. But here's the problem. I've got an X here. So that means I'm not going to be able to solve the problem. That means I need to do something before I look at this. So I'm going to lift my ruler up real quick so I can see this other line. And you can see this other line, once I extend it, it's kind of cutting across that angle. Now, just so that I don't confuse you, I'm only going to do one thing with this other line. Instead of coloring everything, because I only really care about this right here. This one right here. I'm going to make a Z with it. Okay, and remember, whatever I make a Z with, it is equal. So do you see the Z? So right here, the corners of the Z. So right here, this is also green. Now, it doesn't take away from that red because this green is for this line. It's not for this line. So this red and blue is for this line. The green is for this other line. So once I color that in, can I make an equation with my greens? My green, because they're the same color, it means that they are congruent. And check this out. That has to do with X, and that also is an X. So I can go ahead and make an equation with like terms. Now, how would I set it up? Do I add them to 180 or do I put them equal to each other? Well, they're the same color, so I'm going to put them equal to each other. So my first equation is really going to look like 3x equals 5x minus 20. Okay, then go ahead and solve the equation. Minus 5x minus 5x. So it's negative 2x equals negative 20. Divide by negative 2. X is equal to positive 10. Alright, now, once I have x is equal to positive 10, I can go ahead and plug it back in. Because remember, I need to do, just looking at this line only, I need to set up the equation with y's in order to solve it. And because I now know what x is, it's no longer an unknown. So if I put this 10 in here, so I see x, I'm going to put 10. 3 times 10 is 30. So this angle right here is equal to 30. Right, that angle is now equal to 30. Well, now how do I set up my equation? If you look at it, the colors are different, right? So I'm going to add them to 180. So I have 4y plus 2y plus 3x, which is now what? 30. So my next equation is going to be 4y, because that's 4y plus 2y plus 3x, which is now equal to 30. equals 180 because the colors are different. They're inside, they're consecutive, it's equal to 180. Solve this equation, so add like terms at 6y plus 30 equals 180. Subtract 30 from both sides. 6y equals 150. Divide 150 by 6, and that's going to give you y. So 150 divided by 6 is going to give you 25. So y is equal to 25. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in just so I can check my answers, that they're all going to make sense. So if I plug in y is 25 here, 4 times 25 is going to give me 100. 2 times 25 is going to give me 50. And remember, this whole thing plus this has to give me 180. 100 plus 50 is 150 plus 30 is indeed 180. So that is indeed correct. Okay. All right. I'm going to pick another one to do. I'm not sure which one you're going to find difficult, but I'll go ahead and do number 3. Okay. First thing you do again is extend your lines. Now in this example, because I've got 2 sets of parallel lines, I'm actually going to have 2 houses. Alright, so in this example, I've got 2 sets of parallel lines. Again, remember the arrow means this is parallel. The 2 arrows means that those 2 are parallel. So check this out. I'm going to make a house right here. And I'm also going to make a house right here. See how I've got 2 houses? Alright, so I'm only going to look at one house at a time. So let's look at this house right here. This one lying flat. I'm going to cover everything else just so I don't get confused. You see the line crossing the house, right? Alright, so that's the one I'm going to start off by coloring. So again, take 2 different colors, color the first angle, go vertical to that, that's that one. Do your little Z thing, see the Z? It's kind of slanting. Alright, go vertical to that. Alright, then take a different color. And color in all the acute. You could look at it as coloring all the obtuses. See all the obtuses, then color in all the acutes. Alright, perfect. So that's colored in. Alright, now look to see where the numbers are. Are they like terms? If they're not like terms, it means you're going to need the other line. In this case right here, they are like terms. Now the question is do you put these equal to each other or do you add them to 180? Well, look at the colors. The colors are different. So what are you going to do? You're going to add them to 180. So your equation is going to be 11x plus 4, which is this, plus this, 5x equals 180. Then go ahead and solve it. Combine like terms. 11x plus 5x is 16x. Plus 4 equals 180. Subtract 4 from both sides. Then we'll get 16x equals 180 minus 4 is 176. Divide by 16 on both sides. You're going to get x is equal to 11. So x is equal to 11. Alright, you could go ahead and plug it back in just to make sure that it is indeed correct. 5 times x, 5 times 11 is going to give you 55. 11 times 11, 121, plus 4 is 125. Alright, make sure that those add up to 180. 125 plus 55 is 175, 180. Perfect. So we're correct. Now, you can totally ignore this and go ahead and color your house in again. Or, if you turn the sheet of paper like this, okay, now you're going to see, because these 2 lines are parallel, you can go ahead and bring everything kind of down. So you see that this angle is going to come down to be this angle. This one is bottom, here's your T, bottom right. It's going to come back to this angle. And the reason why you can do that is because, remember, the lines are parallel to each other. So if we ignore this for just 1 second, all right, ignore that that's a house, like that. Look at it like that. All right, do you see? So you go vertical, do your you go vertical, then you can do your Z. So this corner and this corner, since we're doing green, you go like that. All right, so green and green, go vertical again, and then take your blue, and here's your Z, just a long Z. All right, and the corner is equal to blue, and then vertical to that. Okay, is equal to that. You turn it back around this other way. Ignore this because these two lines are parallel to each other. Same thing with this. So here we go with my Z. That's also equal to blue. That's vertical to blue. And here is my green. So that's green. And that's also green. Alright, so you could have just totally ignored it and done colors for here, and that's fine. You could have set up your equation without even looking here. But I just figured it might be a little bit shorter to look because I now know all my blues are equal to 125. All my greens are equal to 55. So what I'm really saying is this whole thing is equal to 125. And this whole thing right here is equal to 55. So I can set up that equation by saying, let me do my green. So green is equal to 55. So 5y plus 5 is equal to 55. Then solve the equation. Subtract 5 from both sides. You're going to get 50 equals 5y. Divide both sides by 50. You're going to get y equals 10. Alright, y equals 10. Plug it in just to check. 13 times 10 is 130. Minus 5 is 125. So look at that. My blues are the same. 5 times 10 is 50. Plus 5 is 55. Look at that. My greens are the same. Alright, so you could have done it that way. Or if you didn't want to do it like that, you could have covered it up like this, colored in, you know, your usual colors. You'd have seen that these two are different colors, so you'd have added these two up to 180. So I'm just going to do it on the side here. You don't have to do it, obviously, if you understand that, that's fine. But if you had to, you could do it this way too. So 5y plus 5, that plus this, which is 13y minus 5 equals 180. All right, then solve. So combine like terms. 5y plus 13y is 18y. 5 minus 5 is 0, so equals 180. Divide by 18, y equals 10. So do you see how you still get the same answer? You could have treated them as two different problems, get the same answer, or you could have realized because this is also parallel, this also is going to come down to that way. So I hope this helps. Again, your homework is to finish questions 1 through 6. I've done 2 for you, and I should have done 1 in class with you. So you really have 3 questions to do. Again, if you have any problems, rewatch this video again. And then if you're still not understanding, definitely ask me about it when I see you. All right, good luck.